Hey guys, Ryan here, and today we are back streaming once again for the Misfitz Racing League here, and we are going to be coming live from the Texas Motor Speedway as we are currently loading in right now. Here we go, loading in, just getting the Facebook stream up as well. And here we go, loading in. And immediately get that up. Just going to try and get this going. Here we go. So Blitzkrieg coming from what I think might be his first pole of the season. I don't remember if he'd won a pole prior to this, and he was actually promoted to the pole after one of the drivers had to bow out after an update came oddly to his game mid-turn. So, no, Blitzkrieg was not actually the fastest qualifier, but he was second quickest, and 18 hardened the outside wall, and that's going to send him back to the third position. Might even be fourth, and we got one car going through the grass there. I don't know whose white truck that might have been. That might have been, looks like the 12 there, Brady. Not really sure, but looks like we got, of course, quite a few of these guys decided to do red, white, and blue paint schemes. Some of them didn't, but in the end, they're all right now following the 70 here. So here we go, just getting everything up and going. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey BT Dubs. Yeah, right now though, definitely looks to be like it's going to be a pretty good race here. Looks like Bob Good's Heel is kind of settling in. I think that might be into the second position. Let me check real quick, actually. Yeah, so he has settled into second, of course, behind race leader, the number 70 there of Blitzkrieg, as we were getting ready. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, right now we got the Intimidator there in the 9. It looks like an Intimidator scheme. Not really sure where this Allied car has come from here for the 39, but it might have been based on Jimmy's, since it's an Allied car, maybe it was based on his IndyCar scheme for the IndyCar All-Star thing. But here we go, the 28 and the 18 right in behind each other, and they're racing it into turn 3. Not really going to be able to make much happen here. This is a fairly recently repaved track, repaved back in 2017. A lot of these guys have been on here practicing for quite a bit of time. We've got, of course, you got the flatter 1 and 2, because they decided to, for some reason, to offset or stagger the corners under the most recent repave, which has made this track very hard to pass around the outside. Not impossible, but very hard, especially if you're somewhat equal on car there. Which, that kind of looks ironic, seeing the 88 there and the 9 running those car color combinations. Not gonna assume what we're seeing. Uh-oh. I just stopped hearing all the... Oh, never mind. It's just because I was only listening to my controller. The controller turned off. Okay, we're all good. So, here we go. 88 currently leads the pack. Actually, I believe the 48 might be a teammate there to the 8. Goes up the track. All these guys sliding around behind. Just trying to find spots to slot in line here and just truck along. Yeah, right now though, a lot of these paint schemes though and numbers, from the sounds of it though, are going to be shifting around here at the end of the season. 70 going to be going, I believe that number is not even going to exist next year, because I believe they're transitioning to no custom schemes from the looks of everything. And of course tonight's the cutoff night for their round of the playoffs, so here we go. You've got Bob. Actually, ironically, you got Bob, who's up here in the top couple of spots, and he needs a solid run here to run well. He needs to essentially finish, I believe, 2 positions ahead of Joe throughout the entire night, cumulatively. So if he just, he would need to just finish 2 spots ahead of everybody in the race here. So yeah, right now just kind of going through it. Uh-oh, who's that? Oh, figure 8 out of the race already. That's not good. So it looks like he's out. Not sure if that might be due to the fact that he actually didn't end up waiting for his cousin to for his cousin's update their Lions to actually fully update and get back into it. But right now you got 2 drivers chasing it down. I don't from my knowledge, Katsu is not even, or not Katsu, Blitzkrieg is not in the is no longer in the Truck Series playoffs, but Bob is, and he needs a win would guarantee him the spot regardless of how the rest of tonight goes. But of course, those 2 points are also all he really needs to do it. And then it would be a battle between Novice in the 28, who's running 3rd at the moment. But yeah, right now though, we've actually got a pretty good battle here up front. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good race. And there we go, Bob able to get by Katsu entering the corner there. Definitely looks like that might be, yeah, so we're going to have to wait and see if the 70 is going to try and get him back here, or if we're going to see it go fairly uncontested, that spot. Let's see. And it looks to be like they are actually under a yellow flag, a manual yellow here. So you'll see the field slow down here, and they will be manually driving their cars under this caution flag back around to the pit road. So here we go. They're going to bunch back up here, and we're going to get ready to go. Oh. Wow, they're already low on fuel and tires. Wow. Okay, I must have underestimated how long we've been green flag. We're currently working lap 15 of 40 here in this first stage. So it's going to be, I believe, 400 kilometers here in this race. 167 laps. 400 kilometers, I believe, is the measurement of distance here. So it's going to be a fun one. Let's see as they all get ready to come into the pit road here. And that's where the whole SpeedyCash.com 400 is. But here we go. Pulling on into the pit lane. And is anyone going to decide to maybe stay out? I can't imagine they will, considering they're all pretty much at the end of their fuel window. And at the end of their tire window too, pretty much. I don't know what exactly brought out the caution. I didn't really see. I'd assume maybe someone had a bit of a handling issue due to the poor tires that all the cars essentially had there. But yeah, so here we go. Just kind of looking through. Let's see who's got the first spot on pit road. Here we go. So Sporter's got the first spot on pit road, so we'll probably be flipping to his camera here a lot, and it's gonna be 18 over 70. Oh, and that's gonna be Joe losing it at the line. So as of right now, Bob would be in. I believe Joe would be in over Novice. Actually, where's Novice at? Yes, Joe would be in over Novice, and Bob would be in, I believe. And then Novice would be the one on the outside there. But here we go. Getting bunched back up and getting ready to go back for the restart here, and we're going to be having the green flag. Should be this time here. No pace car, unfortunately. I would love to have a pace car to go out there and collect up the field, but pace car, virtual imaginary pace car is off, and they are going to be going green flag here at the line. Green flag is out. Yeah, so here we go. Green flag, and we're going to see. It looks like the 70 is actually going to try and hold strong here and hold serve. And meanwhile, I'm going to say a lot of these guys, they're just trying to do whatever they can to just kind of to hold serve here on this one. A lot of these guys you will see, and here we go, 70. Okay, so 70's falling back. Sorry, I was just readjusting the chair. We got Brady in that number 12, but now 70 is in heavy traffic, unfortunately, after being essentially given the pole on a post-qualifying incident with the 29 not actually making the. Oh, and we got one car going. Oh, that's the 87 or not Lions. JP Big Dogs in the fence. We got Sporters sliding to the inside. Novice as well collected in that. That's one of those championship hopefuls, and that is going to bring out the automatic yellow. So the difference here is that these guys are no longer currently driving their cars. That is done through an AI, and they will bring it around. Right now, the guys have an opportunity to essentially adjust their car, decide whether they want to take fuel, tires, or if they want to stay out at all. I'd assume you're going to see mostly 4 tires and fuel, but I don't know, with how short it's been, you might start to see some 2-tire calls to try and gain some of that track position. I think, though, I still think 4 tires are probably going to be king. I really don't think track position is going to be that big of a factor, but I mean, it will still be a factor, but it won't be as big a factor as, say, it would be at some of these other tracks. So here we go, back to the green flag here. And let's see what we got. Bob Goes Heels maintains that race lead. Actually, and Bailey there. Bailey all the way up in that 48, up to the 2nd position. Might even be able to take that lead. He did have the lead technically on the restart because of the inside line. But we've seen that outside line be able to hold serve. There we go. Oh, and the 18 has an incident there with the 9. 18 is going to drop way back, and that is going to put him now as the guy on the outside looking in. So here we go. Now Average Joe, who had previously been looking like he was potentially going to be the guy on the outside looking in at the end of this one, is now the guy looking to try and take the lead, and he will actually provisionally lock himself in for sure, regardless of what happens the rest of this. Yeah, so whatever happens the rest of this race, essentially, could, in theory, not matter here. Basically, essentially, winning, you're in. Whole thing locks in people into this one, and no one's even still watching. Okay. Well, I'll continue to commentate for anyone that happens to be watching this on playback. Thank you guys for watching this long into it on playback. I know I'm an idiot when it comes to a lot of this whole commentating stuff. I'm still trying to get used to it. Especially with virtual racing. Right now, though, we got the 88 definitely trying to get this one. 70 trying to play defense. Let's see. But I believe pretty much guaranteed that now, yeah, because we've seen, so Bailey, who was the front row, so the 2 guys that were on the front row there, both have dropped back significantly, so it does look like tires are going to be a big deal here. And to be honest, I feel like if the caution comes out, you need to be taking 4 tires pretty much, just to make sure that you stay ahead, especially on that long run. Because the tires, they give up so much time on the racetrack the longer that you run on them. But yeah, here we go. 18 now into the outside wall, and he will be dropping back to the back of this running order here. Thank you guys, though, for everybody that's tuned in so far tonight. We got a pretty good race going on here. So the 92 is that new guy there, Zach Baker there, it looks like. But right now, still a pretty good battle here going on for the race lead. We've seen the 88 and 70 kind of swapping the lead back and forth here, just kind of trading hands back and forth, back and forth. No, but right now the 70 happens to lead the race. And that will put currently the 18 as the guy on the outside looking in. And I believe that would also leave the 88 and 28 tied. So if they end up separated by that kind of gap, yeah, so they end up being separated by that kind of gap at the end of this stage. I believe that will officially tie them in the points and leave it to where if Bob's able to win the race and they end up remaining like that, they could potentially be in a position where they end up tying for that final spot because Bob wins the race potentially or something like that. We have seen Bob get a couple really good wins so far this season. So thank you guys though for everybody that's tuning in. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Make sure that if you guys are enjoying it, to hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe if you guys haven't already so you guys don't miss it. Any future streams. And it looks like, 70 actually got loose there. And the 88 and 28 were actually able to get by him. Just trying to keep updated on, because I mean, everybody's just moving around so fast. The 18's already back up here, it looks like. No, he's not all the way back up there. He's up to 5th or 6th, though. Yeah, so he's currently running 6th right now for the number 18 car of Bob Goes Heels. We got one car coming to pit road. 88 is in the wall, and he is very slow as the 9 goes by him. What's the 18 going to do here with a very slow? He's going to just run in behind him, it looks like. Now, I would expect on the exit of this corner, potentially to see some aggression there, especially if we're going to start to get winding down towards the end of this one. Yeah, so definitely having a pretty good race here so far tonight, though, as Average Joe tries to get back by Bob as Bob went past him up there. Let's see, who's the race leader at this point? So that's now got Novice locked in for sure. And you know, he's the one that needs to win the least. But of course, if Bob is the winner, then that will flip the whole points thing. And really, points racing right now doesn't really seem the most important because we are just trying to determine who are going to be the top 6 going to the next round of the playoffs, and not actually determining a whole lot here. I mean, in the end, if someone just about manages to scrap their way in, or if they manage to luck in with a win in. Oh, and here we go. We got a couple guys coming to pit road here. And actually, the 87 just coming off the pit road. Now 1 lap down. Let's see, six laps remaining in the stage. I think this could be an interesting strategy we could see play out here. So a lot of these guys are going to be running low on a bunch of that black stuff there, the gasoline. A lot of these guys running low on it. We're going to have to start seeing guys starting to make that decision of how hard are you willing to go to try and maintain the race lead versus how much are you looking at it as trying to race to the end of the event. Because if you're only racing to the end of the stage, then I think you should have come to pit road basically as soon as the window opened. But of course, if you guys, if you're trying to win the race, I think trying to run it out and pitting late and trying to be the basically trying to stay out at the end of this stage. So when the stage ends, you will see a caution come out. An automatic caution will be thrown, and you will see the points will be scored to the top 5, and we will see the rest of the. Oh, whoa! Someone was flying down pit road. Oh, I think Novice might have missed pit road. Uh-oh. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to make it back around. I don't necessarily know who all can and can't make it, but yeah, basically the strategy here for a lot of these guys would be right now. Oh, in the not 98. That's what number he runs in tomorrow's series. But tonight he's running that 28. And he had another issue there trying to get onto this pit road. So he is going to lose a ton of track position. Will probably lose a lap there and need to take the lucky dog at the end of the stage. If he's even in that position, he might need to take the wave around instead. But that's kind of the goal of what you want to do with pitting late like this, is that you're focused on the end of the race. You might not earn the points, or you might earn points in the stage, but that's not the main goal. The main goal from pitting late like this here is to set yourself up to have the race lead at the end of, after the stage caution. You won't be pitting. You'll go to the front of the field as long as you're on the lead lap, and then you'll lead the field to green. Oh, there we go. I was about to say, I just want to make sure I had it muted, because I'm trying to make sure I got everybody muted here. And let's see. Right now, I believe the stage is being led by. Who is it even being led by? Can't even tell. I think that might be Deprev leading the stage. Yeah, I think that might be Deprev leading this stage here. So Deprev looks like he might be coming across to. Is that going to be the end of the stage, or is there one more lap? There is one more lap, so this is the final lap. I believe Deprev there is the race leader. Average Joe in second. And it looks like it's going to remain that way through 3 and 4 here. Yeah, no, the teammates aren't going to do anything to each other there. It's going to be that crazy to try and just gain a stage point. And here we go, across the line. That is going to end the stage. So I'm really quickly going to just tune into the league owner's radio and just listen for the points. So just listening for points.
So Brady got, what, 1 point? Bob got... No, he got 2.
Now they're just working out the points real quick.
So I got 1 more point than you, Bob. So now I'm +3 over you. Novice didn't get any, right? How many did you get, Bob? You got 543.
Okay, so Novice Squid will be the free pass. He will get.
You and Bob are tied now.
From all the incidents, he will get his lap back. He will be back.
Because you got 3.
Lap.
He was 3 ahead of you. So you're tied.
Okay, so right now Bob and Novice are actually tied in points.
You don't need to know. You won't know. You're gonna race it as if he's racing still.
Okay, so here we go. Just gonna go mute them up, and here we go. So Bob and Novice are tied for that final spot as of right now. As of right now, they are tied for the final playoff spot, and the 88 is 3 above them. And of course, he's also got track position over them, So as of right now, essentially how they run is how they're going to be going out of this race. Because, of course, the free pass stuck, had to start tailing the longest line. That's essentially the justification for getting a free lap back. Here we go, Deprev, though, showing pretty strong here tonight. He's going to try and make a statement here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway here in the Truck Series to try and prove that he is a contender. Because we've been talking a lot about J-Prev, his brother, who's been absolutely tearing up both series ever since he joined earlier this year. But we have not really talked that much about Deprev. Now here we go. Here comes Brady, who I believe won Talladega in, was that Trucks or was that National? I can't remember which series Brady won Trucks in. And now he got Blitzkrieg all the way up here as well, trying to fight for this one. And Bob. Right now, Bob is running right where he needs to maintain his championship, or his point advantage, because he's currently got the lead over Novice. So that would put him to the good and would essentially make it so he's able to just manage. We just saw Brady go sliding through the grass. That's going to shake this up a little bit. Of course, got to be wary of the points, but also can't lose sight of this battle for the lead, though, as Bob's actually all the way up here, along with, who is that leading the race? Is that Katsu? Or is that Blitz, I mean? Yes, it is Blitzkrieg leading the race, so it's kind of the way that they were starting off the run. They started off by running the 18 and 70 were running 1-2 for most of the opening stint, and now they've made it back to running 1-2. Here, of course, still a long stage ahead, so we don't know exactly what could happen here between all the different stage strategies. I think right now, I think if you're Bob, I think you absolutely have to play to the strategy of pit as soon as the window opens, and not waiting till the last second to pit. And you absolutely cannot have a pit mistake like what happened with the 28 there. I mean, that is the two keys there to the drive. Deprev, he's been up front quite a bit here. Oh boy, oh, the 28's through the grass. I don't know what Deprev's point situation is. I think he's pretty clinched, but oh, J-Prev in that one. And that's almost certainly going to be the caution flag coming out. Yeah, so Deprev, he's up here leading, or been up here fighting for this lead, but yes, that will be the automatic yellow flag. Let's see if anyone not locked in. Let's see. So I've got a couple of different camera angles here, and everybody's locked in. Okay. So pretty much everybody's going to be going in. Yeah, so everybody's going to be essentially pitting here. JP Big Dog is the only one, I believe, that has not locked into these. Coming to pit road, but I would anticipate that everybody comes. And now I think because that strategy is kind of split up a little bit here, I think based upon your fuel numbers, I would probably say split this now down the middle if you're going for the stage points at the end of this thing. And if you're going, so rather than going the second the window opens, I think you go it for the midway point if you're going for the stage points. If you're going for the long term, getting the track position at the end of the stage, so getting this track position afterwards, I think you run this as late in the window as you can. Essentially to try and build up a bit of a gap, or a bit of a fuel advantage, so that you can stay out and hopefully gain that lead. Now, of course, that's all very dependent on what happens here, as we see them go and take 27 laps to go in this stage. I believe they can go about 15 or 16 laps on fuel, so it's going to be a one-stop stage from here for sure. Let's see. Right here, though, you got the top two Toyota top performers there in the 18 and 70. 70 goes, scrapes the wall. That's going to allow the 18 to the inside. Gets a push from the 88, though. Doesn't really make much of a move to try and go to the outside. Don't know if he's now going to look to the inside. Ooh, wow. And of course, right now, the one guy that really doesn't want to see the 18 lead this thing is that 98, because the 28, because the 28 needs to be able to outpoint. Needs to be able to outpoint the other drivers to try and get himself into this next round of the playoffs. So the way it's going to end up working, it looks like it's going to be down to probably this final stage, and I would be willing to bet that Novice is going to be the one needing to play catch up. So without a race win, I don't really see the opportunity for Novice being able to clinch a spot in this next round. I think this might be the end of Novice's playoff run unless something happens to Bob here in this second stage, because I think this second stage is really where Bob needs to excel. Yeah, so right now, this here is right where Bob excels. So here we go, 70 car dropping back through the field. Oh, 70 car makes contact, and he's going to be, that's going to be way down the field now for the number 70. Yeah, that's a big wreck there, and that's going to drop him right through the field. That one came out of nowhere. I'm all good. Yeah, so right now, though, pretty big incident there for the driver of the number 70 there, as he's trying to just come out here and get some race wins to prove that he's a threat for next season. Yeah, right now though, Deep Prev running third. And Average Joe leading the race. That's pretty good average there for JDJ Racing, minus a few of their guys that they've got. There we go. D-Prev actually, wow, D-Prev just came out of nowhere. And, oh, what happened to Bob? What happened to him? Oh. Looks like the 18 befell a bit of bad luck there as well on the road through here. And there we go. That is how quickly the tables can turn there. And now the 18 is well out of the points. He's actually currently running 11th. So even if they were running the actual true NASCAR playoff standings and whatnot, these two on your screen that you can see here, the two reddish trucks there, are going to be the two advancing to the next round, it looks like, if, again, nothing crazy happens. Kind of ironic. I said hopefully nothing, assuming nothing insane happens to Bob Rex. And now, right now, I think right now the solid one here is that the 88 has a 3-point lead on both of them, I believe. And now he will maintain and stretch that gap over Bob, and it looks like maybe even Novice, though Novice going to try and take that second spot away here to the inside. Here goes the number 28 Chevy Silverado here. Man, those trucks are fairly similar there between that 28 and 88. Luckily, they're in different enough fonts that you can actually tell the difference between them rather than just thinking that they're the same. But here we go. Just trying to keep an eye on it. You got 17 laps to go here. Oh. Yeah, so right now, basically the big battle here is basically a lot of it's more on the score chart than it is on the racetrack right now. Like right now, a lot of what, like right now, I don't think the 88 or 28 really care about passing the 39 there in front. I think Deep Rev will probably lead the rest of this stage fairly uncontested, minus the pit stop. Like, of course, the pit stop is the big question mark in here. I think everybody needs to, everybody by far definitely needs to pit one more time. I think you might see some guys come as early as 2 laps from now. If they do the splitting it up pretty much in the middle, would be around about, right about 14, 13 laps to go here. As you'll start to see, actually, some of these guys are going to be forced to, with just kind of the positions they're in fuel, are going to have to start making these pit stops here in a lap or two. And here we go. We got one car on the very slow on the inside. That's Zach MF Baker there. He absolutely had to. We've got Blitz coming in. Bob stays on the racetrack. Brady stays on the racetrack. So again, we're going to see a little bit of variance in the pit stops. But once again, you got to really think. Here we go. Here comes Deep Rev. And here comes all the race leaders actually all deciding to come right now. As we see one truck stay on the racetrack. I don't know who that race truck is. Looks like it might have been. No, it wasn't JP Big Dogs. Who is it? Looks like, oh, it might have been Brady. Brady stayed out one more lap. No, and Bailey ended up missing pit road, it looks like, and he is going to have a long drive back around for missing it. And that will only get longer if he ended up missing pit road there. And ended up running out of fuel, of course. All it comes down to basically how close he was pushing it. But yeah, right now, though, definitely, I think it comes down to really what your game is. If your game, like, for a lot of these guys, they're only here for the race. Besides the 3 I keep talking about, everybody else is just here for the racing. I mean, yeah, they want to ensure that they make it through, but for the most part, most of these guys are all good, especially once this stage ends. No, they're all good without much chaos going on. The problem is, though, you've got to think I think really the only guys that should be worrying about being up front right now is the 28, 88, and I don't really know what the points position is for the 39. I say 39, though, he's got to have gained some points from that first stage as well, so he's probably pretty good over the cut line. But the real story is Joe versus Novice versus Bob. 2 of which will get in, 1 of which won't. And there we go. We see the pass for the lead there. Novice Squid takes the race lead away. And will he be able to lead out the rest of this stage? That's going to be the question we're going to have to figure out here. And okay, here we go. Caution flag's out. Right now, here's the strategy. If you're going for the end of this race, you pit now. If you're going for the end of the stage, you don't pit here. Now, you might go 2 tires if you really want to try and gain basically if you want to gain the track position, but also be able to potentially go and race others for the stage win. So right now, everybody's stuff is pretty fresh. I don't see a reason to take 2 tires, really. unless you're that worried about a lot of guys coming in and taking 4. And if you're at the back of the guys that you think would be taking 4, but here we go. 28, I believe, stayed out there. Yeah, so a lot of these guys did end up staying out. We got one truck through the grass, and who was that? Who was the one truck through the grass? I have to check that first. Okay, so that was Sporter. Here we go. Novice Squid, that number 28. He's gonna try, and of course, if he can manage to lead this one back around to the end of the stage, that would be massive for his night, because of course he has come in now to this second stage tied with that 18 in points. 18's mired back in. He's currently not even in the stage points. Here you go, 7 laps remaining in the stage. So yeah, those 4 tires gonna start to come in very handy for guys like the 18 who did come and pit for them, though. I don't know if a lot of these guys on the old tires are gonna be able to hold off these guys, and especially not for very long. So right now, 88 should probably, I think, depending on the end of the stage, I think the 88 should probably be a little worried about his points position. I think, the 18 absolutely needs to be worried about his points position right now, immediately. No. But a lot of these guys, I mean, they're just fighting it out, trying to gain any point they can. As the 18 decides to try and make it 3 wide there on the 9. And he does stick it. So he's good to make it through there. That puts him up into 3rd, and that's once again going to be more points that he's going to get. And that the 88 will not currently get, as he is currently 6th on the racetrack. Now, Novice Squid leads the race still. So, I mean, this is going to be a tense one here as we're getting down to the finish of the race. Well, not even to the finish of the race, but we're starting to get down to the end of the opportunities to earn points, because the only opportunities to earn points are these 2 stages, and of course the end of the race, and we will see it. So 4 laps remaining in the stage. Katsu looking for that, or Blitzkrieg, I mean, looking for that lead. 3 wide for the race lead coming off of turn 2. Looks like 70 backed out, and here we go, tied in the point standings. The 18 passes the 28. Now here we go, 28. We could see a bump. Oh! No, that's going to be a massive wreck, and that's going to absolutely scatter everybody. Oh, and that's 2 trucks up in the catch fence. Ouch. Man, that looked like it hurt for the number 28. That's going to be the caution coming out, and that's going to be the 18 winning stage 2. And for this, and he's the only playoff contender to earn stage points there. So, once again, going to unmute. And we're going to listen in for the stage results here. For the stage points results, because, man, that was a bummer to see him go all the way up into the catch fence there. Hey, Chuck. So, yeah, we just saw, definitely one of the, that is going to be a big championship defining moment here.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're not going to get a points update here. So, just going to go and mute the party up. So I'm going to have to do it in my head, essentially. So I think that's going to put Mongo's Heels, that's going to be 5 points. So he is currently the leader of the 3, 2 points above Joe, and that puts Joe 3 points above Novice. Novice currently on the very hot seat here to try and get this one. So Novice Squid currently is going to need a miracle to get this, to advance here. Definitely, this is the time. If there was a time to get worried for Novice, this here is that time. Not currently really any options to advance other than winning this race, pretty much. Especially with how Bob and Joe have been running throughout the event. He would need to finish 3 spots ahead of Joe. Bob Goes Heels is essentially in as long as he doesn't have anything catastrophic happen. Now, that flip into the catchments was catastrophic for novices' playoff hopes. And right there, that was his championship moment going into the fence, essentially. I mean, this is going to be a missed opportunity, I feel like, for him. He came in here, one of the guys that I felt like was one of the more solid guys above the cut line, and threw some missed opportunities in stage 1 and 2 on not earning those points. With how valuable those points have been, we now see them, them really kind of going to work for that 18, as the 18 was able to win stage 2, finish 3rd in stage 1. So, I mean, that's a lot of points to earn, and with some of the other guys striking out on stage points, well, with both the other guys striking out on stage points in that second stage, that's going to absolutely, devastate the 28's chances. He needs to earn 3 points over the 88, or 5 points over the 18, essentially to win or to advance. Or he could go out and win this race, and that would solve all these problems. And say, meanwhile, that number 9 trying to go there and grab one of those points from that number 18. So this is this theoretical gap here, and that's actually going to allow the 28 in. So 28, 5 points below. Now he's going to gain one of those. So now it's 4 points above for the 28. He is currently 8 points above. Now going in behind. Now if he's able to get by the 9 here, that would be 3 points above. And he's just starting to eat away at Bob's points here as much as he can. I say it's a very slow-paced finish out to this one, but mainly just because of how long this track is and how fairly difficult it's been to pass here. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen more guys going for the tire strategies. Looks like Ed Bailey, they're out of the race, and then 9 car out of the groove, but 28 was able to get by him, but so was the 9. Or not, so was the 9. So was the 18 able to get by the 9. And with Joe leading this race, that is him essentially straight to the top of that chart with a win. Let's see, what do we got here? So right now, what the 28 needs is he either needs to get past this 88, which would probably be the easier option, or he would need something to happen to the 18, because the 18 running 3rd here is guaranteed the spot in the championship, or not in the championship, but in the next round of the championship, if everything goes this way. As of right now, I don't really see that. But here we go, side by side, actually, as I was saying about the situations. 28 could go and just pass the 88 here and make everything up its time about fairly irrelevant. Not able to really hold that power down, though, on that inside line. Not going to be able to keep to the inside there. And the 88 of Average Joe, another one of those championship contenders. And actually, ironically, these two would swap being on the bottom of the point standings and who is locked in with a win at the very change of positions. As of right now, Bob Goes Heels is in, regardless of what happens, as of right now. Actually, no, he isn't. Because of the 9 getting past him right there, that's going to allow the 88 to maintain a tie in the points right now. As long as the 9 can continue to hold up the 18, even if the 88 loses the race lead to the 28. Now, I don't know what kinds of alliances and whatnot are here that we might see play into guys trying to get teammates in or whatnot. I believe all 3 of these guys are different teams, though, different alliances, and 2 different manufacturers between the 3 of them. So I don't think there's going to be too much pull one way or the other. But right now, what we are seeing, though, we're seeing the 28 and the 88 are currently on the inside looking out. A lot of laps still to go. I don't exactly know. Oh, and here we go. The 9 car trying to take this one away from the 28. 28 currently outside the playoffs now. Outside the ability to make it. And now side by side with the 18. So right now, and J-Pro is going to go up there and try and take this spot away from Joe, which would then again enact another point situation, which could in theory happen, where the 28 would just need to outpoint the 88 to get to the next round, and the 18 would get in under that reality as well. Now we're going to start to see some of these guys starting to need pit stops here pretty soon, so they can't keep racing like this forever. Fuel and tires are going to be out here are going to be worn out completely here pretty soon. I'd say within the next 5 laps, you're going to see pretty much everybody hit this pit road. And to be honest, if I'm someone like Bob here, who's kind of in third, and to be honest, on the safer side, I think I'd run it out completely. But if I'm someone like the 28, who is essentially in a must-win with where the 18 is riding, I think I pit now and try and get the most out of those fresh tires. Assuming that now it could be that the 18 could be in position where he's out of fuel this lap. But and we see the 2 cars staying out and everybody else coming down to the pit road. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here with Bob, if he has any sort of penalties or whatnot. But right now, 2 red cars here lead the race, and they are in currently the positions that would get them into the championship because, of course, Bob Goes Heels is on pit road. And here we go. They both come in now. Oh! Another choke here for the driver of the number 28. A spin entering pit road. Now with no damage on it, doesn't look like he's not going to have any real repair time to worry about. Bob Goes Heels comes out and he is currently in the 5th position, so I believe he will be in a good spot here to try and, to be honest, I think he'll outrun the other 2 that just came in now. I mean, he's going to absolutely run a faster lap than they did on their in-lap. Question is, how much is he going to have them by when they come off the pit road? So right now, I believe he is the race leader here, or he will be the race leader when this all cycles out. Let's see. No, the 9 actually will end up being the race winner here. Or not the race winner, but the race leader. The eventual winner. Assuming nothing drastic changes. Don't you guys just love me saying as long as nothing drastic happens? Because that's when something drastic usually happens. Yeah, if nothing drastic happens, it looks like the 9 should be, ironically, in a pretty good spot to win this one. I mean, the 9 just absolutely blitzing away from the field here. Yeah, I agree that pitting sooner, though, definitely. Like, pitting sooner would have been my call, probably. Trying to essentially get you on fresh tires sooner, especially because of the difficulty to pass. Like right now, I believe the 9 might have taken 2 tires there from the looks and sounds of it, but I just don't know how much you can really risk taking 2 or no tires to try and stay ahead of the 9, and how much that can be worth. Because right now, I think the 18 should absolutely be playing it safe. I see zero reason for why the 18 would gamble. The 3 and the 98, or not the 3 and the 98, the 28 in particular, I could see going for a gamble because he absolutely needs to gamble to advance from this round of the championship. Now, to say that that other drivers don't need to win, I don't really think that either of them are really in any need. They just need to finish ahead of the 28. Or, actually, they both just need to finish with 3 spots in novice. So, right now, novice just needs to be... They essentially just need to finish within that many spots of them. So, let's see what we got. Right now, Novice Squid is in 5th. That would be great. But with Bob 2nd and Joe 3rd, it really isn't. Again, would be absolutely fantastic if it were if it were actually that way, but I don't believe it is, so yeah, so right now we're just kind of waiting it out here. I'm gonna say still 66 laps to go, still plenty of time for stuff to happen. I'd actually be a little bit worried if I'm one of these guys here. For what? Yeah, so 66 laps to go right now. I'm kind of worried for some of these guys, though, because 66 laps, they have not... I think that's going to be a 4-stop race for a lot of these guys. Now, I think if you're the 28, I think you've got to go into an idea of trying to save the fuel, because right now, aside from a fuel gambling win, I don't really see the avenue for a... for a round of 6 chase berth. I mean, I just do not see the scenario in what I'm looking at and what I believe to be the point standings. At least I do not see an opening for the number 28 to advance to this next round of the playoffs without a win. Like, just looking at where his 2 other championship contenders are. He's running 5th. And 5th on a normal day would be absolutely fantastic. Right now, 5th is an absolute travesty for him. And to be honest, this I feel like has mostly been sparked by that late stage wreck that actually ended up handing the stage on a silver platter to Bob Goes Heels. Because he had that late stage wreck that ended up actually ending the stage. And it knocked Novice completely out of those points. So he earned 0 points at the end of that stage, as opposed to earning quite a few and remaining essentially in a deadlock battle with the other 2 contenders. So now he is well on the outside. So right now, the way the point standings look is Bob Goes Heels is 5 above, Joe is 3 above, and then of course, by virtue of it, the 28 is 3 below, because he would need 3 points on Joe. I don't believe, but just from where from the fact that the other 2 are running second and third in the race, I just don't see the avenue to advance to the next round on that merit. I mean, right now you've got second and third right there. 2 of the guys that you need to be outpointing. You're running 5th. I mean, even if he was up here running second ahead of these guys, they would still be outpointing him because they have those 3 points of swing. He only needs to outdo one of these guys to actually earn the spot, but the problem again arises in the fact that he needs to outpoint one of them while they're all having great days. Now, of course, if he'd been able to capitalize on some of those stage points, he'd be right in a lockstep battle with them, and if he could at least get up here, like, he'd still be below the cut line right now because he's behind them, but at least if he were able to get up into this fight for the second position, he'd be able to be up there passing guys for points positions and actually swapping it round and round. Right now, that is not a thing. Though it looks like the automatic caution has come out, or is that a manual? Looks like it might be a manual caution that is currently out, which right now I'd be really begging. So I think that's actually really great for the 28 because this is going to essentially reset him, give him another shot to go after this, to essentially get another shot here to go and try and pass some guys. If something bad happens to Bob here, it would absolutely, now, question is, I guess, will he be able to make it all the way? Okay, yeah, they're already back around. Never mind. I'm going to say, because if he ran out of fuel or something coming into the pits, I'd be kind of worried there, but he didn't. But they were already back around to the pits. So right now, I think 4 tires and fuel, if you do anything other than 4 tires and fuel, you're a fool. You're not going to be able to make the full fuel run on your left side tires currently, I don't believe. And I think that is what's going to win this race. I think you're going to need those 4 tires. Yeah, so right now, I think you absolutely need these 4 pit tires and fuel. As everybody's coming out the pits. So Bob maintains second. Third place maintains being yeah, so third place ends up staying as Joe, it looks like. Fourth place. Oh no, it looks like D-Prev actually moved up a spot, so trying to figure out where everybody's going. Once we start to see some of these guys grouping back up, we'll be able to get you guys an even better representation. So here we go. Getting everything grouped back up here as we are currently under the yellow flag that has been displayed here. And it looks like they're lining up. So the front 2 are very confident in where they should be. Then it looks like it should be the 39, 88, 28. So 28, in theory, does not need to win this right now. Just needs to be able to get up to second as they currently run. Actually, no, you wouldn't need to win right now with where the 88 is lined up. But of course, you've got like 50 something laps or something. You got a lot of laps still to go here. And right now, a lot of these guys trying to figure out where they want to restart from. In particular, the 9 trying to pick his lane. He's currently in the outside lane. We have not seen really a situation where the leader's gotten to choose and has chosen the outside. But we have seen a couple of instances where the outside lane has been, at least at the very worst, able to break even coming through the first couple of corners. Now, when we get the green flag here, I'd be interested to see how this restart's going to play out, both for potentially future restarts and what's going to happen here in the points. Because you've got all 3 of the points contenders on that inside lane. I mean, there is no contesting that. Here we go, green flag. So, right now you've got all 3 of the points contenders that are trying to fight for these points running right in behind each other. Yeah. You got Bob, Joe, and Novice in a single file line there. And here we go. Novice looking to that outside, not really going to be able to make much happen trying to go to the outside there. And that's allowed. Oh, wow. Okay, so the caution that I thought was going to be great for the 28, now he absolutely needs to win, because right now the top 2, side by side with the lead, passing back and forth for the lead, are the 2 other points contenders. And if one of them wins, that's just another moving target as the 39 there is sliding way out of line. Ending up 3 wide there, kind of going into the corner. Decides wisely to back out of it. Let's see what we got here. So right now, the 88 leads, 70 is second, third, 18. So the 18 and the 88 would be the two advancing right now as it runs. And I believe that will be the way that they will finish this one out. I don't anticipate this changing. I don't anticipate this points division really changing too much. Now, the thing I could see happening, though, is I could very easily see Blitz able to get by here and win this race. He was your pole sitter by technicality. He did win your pole, and he is, and he did start first, so he is here and battling for this race win. And he's got one of the fastest cars, at least on the single car speed from what we saw in qualifying, because we did do single car qualifying here. Now we got the 18. So right now we got points contenders all bunched up right together. And what could be better for a race? Here we go. So the 28. I'd say the 28 wants to clear. Yep, there we go. He wants to clear that 12 as soon as possible. But now he absolutely also needs to get by these guys ASAP as well. Like right now, these front few, I mean, let's see, what are the laps remaining looking like? Of course, the one time I checked to see when they come across the line, it glitches and I don't get to actually see it. So here we go. Right now, we've got the 12 actually giving a solid push here to the 28. Going to give him a shot to try and go too wide, but not going to happen. And he's actually going to end up on the outside, out on the dust, and might even end up losing some spots here instead of gaining them by going to the outside. Meanwhile, the 88 was able to get the lead away from the 70. That will probably change another 4 times here. So right now we got Joe, Blitz, Bob, Brady, and then J-Prev actually just got by the 28 at novice as well. Though we just saw the 12 go to the, just go and hit the grass. I don't know what happened there. 48 laps remaining. So 48 laps to go. So here we go. 28 laps to go. Or not 28, 48 laps to go. 47 this time by. So still probably a good 2 to 3 pit stops. Probably 3 pit stops away from this checkered flag. But the problem is that you've got those points contenders right up at the front. And you don't really have an avenue for another driver to go up there and take this one away. I mean, sure, you might see some guys get up there in the points. You might see, like Katsu right now, going by that 18. You might see some of those. But in the end, I mean, they really... guys like Blitz here, even if he gets by Bob, Bob still has the points lead and a massive amount of them over novice for that cutoff spot. So it is going to be very hard for some of these guys to try and make it. So yeah, so a lot of guys going to be struggling to try and make it through the through this cornering and trying to. I do not really see, I'm trying to look at this from every angle, and I just don't see, apart from a win, how novice gets here. So I guess I just don't know what the strategy's gonna be. It's like my gut says four tire, trying to get the 4 tires on your car for the longest amount of time, rather than waiting it out and hoping for a lucky caution. Like, I don't think waiting for a lucky caution is gonna come your way. Just from looking at the way that this race has gone so far, I'm not expecting a rash of yellows, so I would say staying out for a caution, like staying out waiting for a caution, is just waiting for a bus that's never going to show up. Or I guess in certain circumstances, and some of my friends will know a lot of what I'm talking about, standing outside in a snowstorm waiting for a taxi that will never show up. So, yeah. It's not really something I would put a whole lot of eggs in a basket here for. No, I would not really put a whole lot of stock in just waiting it out for a caution flag. I would say essentially follow the leaders, and if you can hear the leaders planning a pit stop, try and get in 1 lap sooner than them. Like for example, I would have probably been on pit road last time by looking at some of their fuel numbers. Because I think a lot of these guys are probably pitting this time. I think pretty much the top 5 or 6, I think, are all coming in this lap. And here we go. Let's see what's going to happen here. The top 2 of them stay out, and once again, this is something I was saying I wouldn't really put my eggs in that basket. I guess it comes down to who you're racing. Now, if we assume that the 28 needs to win, I would have followed those guys right there. Now, if he thinks that he doesn't need to win, then I think his most likely case is going to be following the 88, which is what he's doing. So I think what I can determine from this is that he thinks that he is not in a must-win. I think he thinks that he can outpoint the 88. I don't necessarily think he will get there. And speeding penalty on the number 18. Oh, that's going to absolutely bite right there. That could be snake bite. That could be the number 18 being snake bitten there. Don't know if I think he and the 9 might have both been penalized there. But yeah, now they're well down the order. Now it's going to be the 28 and the 88 battling this one out. But, as I say, of course, a caution could recover the 18 there, but just looking at it from the initial standings, because the 18 is still a lead lap car here, I just do not see how this is going to end up working out here. I mean, at least for the 18. 18, I think he's going to basically rely on the fact that he's got enough points cushion, which right now, I don't know if he actually has. Let's see. Where is Novice currently ranked? Let's see if I can see him. Novice is 3rd. Bob Goes Heels is 8th. Oh, they're tied. So, I don't know which tiebreaker condition they're using. So, right now, if I'm the 18, I need to be aware of that. And I need to be making this pass now. Like, that 9 needs to be out the way here. No. Yeah, so right now, he needs to pass this 9 to advance, for sure. Like, don't leave it in the hands of a tiebreaker condition, and you won't have to worry about it. Now, I'm going to just kind of quickly take a peek up here at the front. Yeah, so the 28 right now, if he's able to get up to the 70, that could be it. Yeah, so just kind of passing along some of the... Oh, you're kidding me. I just tapped the disconnect button. Are you kidding me? Okay, so... I'm glad I have this as a backup plan. I did not hope to use this as a backup plan. I'm gonna currently transition us over to one of the other guys' cameras. Real quick, let's see which ones do we got available here. I think yeah, so sorry about the slight technical issue. I'll try and get an invite here at the next caution flag.
Pulling away from Katsu right now, so I.
At the next caution flag, just can someone get me an invite? I accidentally lost out of the race. There we go. So just went and told them at the next caution flag, we'll get, here we go. Getting Bob's thing up here on his Twitch. Feel free to go follow him over at Bob Goes Heels 2323. I'm gonna currently put him up here. Gonna go and just mute his audio. And we're just gonna try and commentate over what we see here, but gonna at least get some form of racing up here for you guys. Don't really have a spot for the banner, so unfortunately for the Patreon supporters that are supporting me, that's what we're currently at for right now. This is what we got. So yeah, right now 34 laps remaining in this one. We're just gonna have to watch and kind of follow along as much as we can right now. I still 100% believe that in the end, you're going to need to be above here. You're going to need to get by this 9 to advance to the next round here. So, sorry about the kind of unfortunate circumstances here. We're going to have this for a little bit. Yeah, so as of right now, we're going to be stuck here for a few minutes just waiting for a yellow flag, which probably won't be too far out. Hopefully you guys don't mind the fact that we got to this one. I know, bummer. Oh, and caution's out. Yes. Okay, so the caution flag came out. It looks like J-Prev might have been involved. Not really sure who else because I didn't actually see what happened. I was looking at my screen. Can I get an invite here under this caution flag before it all goes through? Let's see. There we go. Yes, we're okay. So we're gonna be back in it here. There we go. Now we're gonna get an invite from literally everybody, and the caution flag is out. So here we go. We're gonna be just resetting from the caution flag. I'll leave this one on until we're loaded back in. So here we go. Everybody pit there. Free pass went to JP Big Dogs. He is currently running 10th. And the green flag will be coming out. Green flag is back in the air, and we're racing once again here from Texas Motor Speedway. And man, that infield grass has been mowed pretty well, especially around that curb, kind of around the edge of the racetrack. So, yeah, just kind of waiting for my end. Oh, and we got a car in the wall. That might have been the 28. Was that the 28 that just went into the wall? Here we go. We got our view back here. Oh, whoop, that's not the right scene. Gotta get those Patreon supporters and their banner there, so kind of as a little bit of something as a way for me to give back to the people that support me on Patreon. But who was that? Was that yes, that was the 28. It looks like that went into the wall, and he is now way back here. He is gonna need a caution flag to advance out of this one now. Massive, unfortunate chain of events there for. That have ended up transpiring here tonight for the driver of this number 28, because he's gone from in to out so much. And 27 laps to go. Still plenty of time for a caution to potentially recover him. Average Joe currently holds one of those two spots, which is very unfortunate because it will put him now as 2 spots out. So there we go. We actually managed to get our feed back here. Okay. But yeah, so right now though, in the end, the battle for the race win and the spots in the championship have kind of been right up there in the front today. I mean, you really haven't seen much for battling, for these spots outside of the championship so far tonight. Most of the fighting has happened right up here at the spot, right up here at the top spots. Now, looks like I think that might be Katsu actually leading. So Katsu, he is actually going to be one of the ones in the points battle tomorrow night trying to transfer. He was eliminated after the first round, I believe, from the playoffs here. So he's trying to just kind of show that if he had advanced, that he would have been in a very good spot to advance to the championship race. Now, I don't really know how much that really matters too much, but I guess at the most it matters to them or to him, and that's what matters really in the grand scheme of things. So here we go. Now just kind of looking, we got, oh man, that 39 was kind of looking to go 3 wide there. But right now this battle for the lead is kind of gone single file at the moment at least. Now it looks like we got about 10, I'd say probably about 10, 15-ish laps till we got the next pit cycle starting. I don't remember exactly how much fuel everybody said they could get earlier this morning when I was walking around the garage. Staying my social distance. I stayed at least 6 states away from pretty much everybody in this group, I believe. And it looks like, oh, the caution flag flies. I think you need 4 tires and fuel here. Right now, 4 tires and fuel right now is the call. Like 4 tires and fuel is my call at least. I'm no expert crew chief. But if I was, that would be the call I would probably make for my driver. I don't really see a reason not to make the call for the tires and fuel, but here we go, let's see. And it looks like for the majority of the field, yeah, the majority of the field agreed there. I think pretty much everybody took 4 tires and fuel. And fuel at that time, I think I've heard upwards of 20 laps that a driver can make on this tank of fuel. I don't remember the exact calculations for how much fuel each driver can make, but I know that the average is somewhere in the realm of 15 to 20. I've heard some say they can only get about 13 laps though on their tires, so tire window coming into play as well. A lot of these guys kind of sliding around on the back straightaway. And actually, here we go. Bob and Novice here battling right here. Now, if I'm the 28, well, if it's me, I try and get my way in here. Now, a lot of people have not been big fans of Bob over the last couple of weeks. I don't think that's gone too unnoticed by the majority of the group. But it might have gone unnoticed because a lot of it hasn't been publicly in the races. But yeah, so Bob is not necessarily a fan favorite among the drivers. And Bob is trying to fight to stay in the playoffs. Does someone take Bob out here? I would hope that we don't see that. But I would not say it's outside the realm of possibility that someone could go and take Bob out to essentially get him back for something that happened at, say, Auto Club or Bristol or Eldora even though that's long on and everybody should put that away and should stop bringing that up, but everybody keeps bringing it up in the chat, so I'm going to keep mentioning it here. So, I don't anticipate any foul play from anyone, but if someone did want to tamper with the results, that would be their option to essentially rig who makes it in and who doesn't. But again, I don't think this is going to end up being a popularity contest to get into the next round, so I think we should be all good. Let's see, everybody's taking the green flag and kept it out here for a while. Blitzkrieg's maintaining his race lead here over Average Joe, who's one of those guys who probably is just happy to be riding right now in a position to advance. Though he's looking for that race lead. To be honest, I feel like it really comes down to who you are. I would probably just ride behind Blitzkrieg, and that's probably mostly because I'm a very biased Blitzkrieg fan, but yeah, that's probably the biggest reason why I'd ride behind him here rather than trying to pass him. But again, you don't really want to be jeopardizing your chance to advance by trying to win. Because like right now, if after making that pass, if Katsu ends up going and trying to pass him back and ends up turning the 88, that could very well eliminate the 88 from the playoffs. Unintentionally, of course, but it would just be a racing deal going for the win. Now, if he had just ridden behind the 70, and then the 70 doesn't really get that opportunity, and they just ride, there's no one that really has any kind of reason to really go aggressive to try and pass him back. And in the end, you then have a fairly average race with it, but, and there we go, the 70 screws up, and that's going to absolutely give this, might even give, I think that's Brady on the outside there. Oh no, the 87 there in the pits, that looks like that might be, JP Big Dog's there, done for the night. Well, once again, we see the 18 in position to advance. So yeah, so right now though, a lot of this is going to come down to what we see over these next, I'd say we still have about a pit stop or two probably remaining in this one, so I didn't see what lap we went green on, but I definitely feel like we could still be in range of us. Yeah, and there we go, JP Big Dogs leaves the race, which kind of just is a surefire sign that he is out now and is essentially going to be watching the rest of the race from the motorhome. I don't know, he might just head to the motorhome and not even watch the finish of the race on there, which would be kind of unfortunate because I think you should check out the stream. I think it's a pretty good quality stream, and apparently you guys do too, since you guys are actually watching, since somehow we still have 3 people watching this whole thing. And 1 over on Facebook, so 4 people total watching this thing. But yeah, again, I've just kind of been I'm going to be trying some stuff out here, though. Hopefully I can start introducing some new stuff to the streams for a lot of you guys, because definitely a lot of this has been, I felt like it's been fairly boring and average as a stream quality, and I've been wanting to introduce some more stuff. Just working on trying to figure out ways to introduce it without it ending up kind of very scuffed. Now, some of the stuff is going to look scuffed the first time I introduce it for sure, but I am working on some other ideas coming down the pipeline for the broadcast, and I hope to be able to share a lot of those with you guys soon. And Bailey, and the driver of the 48, has left the party, so he is, I think we've known that he's been out for a while, so that's 3 drivers pretty much out the race very early on. And here we go. Okay, 7 laps to go. Okay, I don't actually, never mind, we're a lot closer to the end of this race than I thought. It's going to be a one-stop race from here, though. Looking at everybody's fuel tanks, I think you're going to see everybody have to come here within the last 7 laps. Now that very easily could result in, to be honest, if I'm one of these championship guys, or one of these guys looking for the, trying to advance the points guys, I come right now for this pit road. I hit pit road now. I take it nice and easy. Don't speed. Get potentially, I'd say maybe go 2 tires and then come back out and try and just lay down good laps, I would not be staying out to the bitter end here. I would not ride my fuel the entire way out. Now, you could try no tires if you really are that concerned about the win. Like, I think Novice could be going for that type of strategy. I think that could be a strategy that Novice could employ. Oh, yep. Novice is in. Is he getting 2 tires, or is he going for the full 4, or is he going... Because he's in there way longer than just fuel, so... Here we go. Novice has made his bet. He's going for it. Here comes the other 2 championship contenders, and... Let's see, what's it going to be? I think Bob might have sped, so... At least from looking at it, and I'm guessing from the reaction from his pit call, it looks like I would maybe hazard a guess that he thinks that he sped too. Or, well, he knows whether he sped or not. Here we go. Everybody pulling into the pits. Going right through some of these guys, and here we go. Let's see. Fuel only, yes. Oh, wait, no. Yep, Bob, I think he did speed from the looks of it. So it looks like he went for a... Yep, so Bob did speed entering pit road. So, Average Joe will advance. Now it's a matter of... So now it's a matter of Squid versus Bob. I think Bob made the right call by going for those 2 tires, because I don't think his right sides were going to make it around the final 3 laps. And he still has a very sizable lead here on Novice, and Novice would need to gain 5 spots. I don't really see a spot where Novice could gain 5 on where Bob is now, especially since he still has to get 2 Bob in order to get that. So yeah, I don't really... I mean, he's closing in on him at an incredible rate, but once he gets by Bob, he'd need to run down Sporter, and yeah, I just don't see it. Yeah, it looks like his championship hopes are just kind of evaporating before his own eyes here. So, as soon... I'll try and get you the top 5 here. But we're within like 3 laps to go in this race. And I've been really mostly focusing on this championship fight here, which it will be Bob and Joe advancing unless absolutely insanity implodes here. Yep, they just took 2 laps to go. And the top 5 is Blitzkrieg. Don't know who else. Looks like J-Prev. I know Joe's up in the top 5. I don't know who else because I can't really see that well, and from the different onboards I've got, I can only really tell that Blitzkrieg and J-Prev are in the top 5, and I believe Joe is leading the race. Let me see if I can flick through my own. So here we go. I believe this is Joe coming around to take the checkered flag. And I believe... Let's see, was it? Did Joe take it? We're going to have to wait and see at the results. I'm going to have to wait for the results because I won't even know exactly what the running order is. I'm just waiting to see it. So let's see. J-Prev has left it. Average Joe wins it. Brady second. Third was D-Prev, who won a stage. J-Prev fourth. Fifth, Blitzkrieg. Fourth, Sporter. Or, not fourth. Sixth, Sporter. Seventh, Bob getting in. Eighth, Novice going home without a spot at in next week's championship attempts. Of course, next week's just the start of the race. Looks like there might be some video surfacing right now, but as of right now, Bob is in, Joe is in, and Squid is out. So thank you guys for watching. Massive congratulations to Joe on this one. All 3 of the main JDJ drivers made the top 5. But yeah, so massive congratulations though to Joe on his win here at Texas Motor Speedway. And thank you guys all for tuning in and watching this broadcast here of the Misfitz Racing League Texas race here, their playoff cut line here in the Speedy Cash or in the Misfitz 400. So thank you guys all for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Of course, remember, like the stream if you guys have enjoyed this one. Of course, remember checking out the Patreon link if you guys really love the channel and want to support. But of course, one of the biggest things you can do is sitting through and listening to my voice. So thank you guys for watching this stream, and we will see you guys in the next video, stream, or whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night.